so much optimistic about this collaboration because we know it will yield positive results. Now, that is in the health world, but it is also important to talk about what we eat. We know that the Nutrition Society of Uganda, together with the Nutrition Rehabilitation Center, are carrying on a challenge, a fruits and vegetable challenge. And last week we talked about the nutrient values or the power in the fruits and vegetables. Now today we want to see what happens when we get our fruits from the farm to the plate. We want to discuss that process, but of course we have a lot more to talk about when it gets to today's topic. And with us is one of us here, and today of course we are going to have some demonstrations and I'm already excited because today's show is a little different. While I'll be talking, I'll also be eating. Now bring cost where you are, don't cross your lane to come here, please. We agree before we start this. I don't want to I don't want to disorganize this table, but with us is Pamella. Pamella is a public health nutritionist. She works with Makerere University School of Public Health, and she's here to take us through. Pamella, you're most welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you.
It's always a pleasure being hosted here at Family TV.
Sure. How have you been? We last met on Tuesday last week. How has been your week? How is the challenge going on?
The challenge is in full gear.
Okay.
I think we're on the 12th day of the challenge. And people are participating. Please, if possible, make sure that you take your fruits and take your vegetables. If you're on any nutrition platform, remember to share your plate. Show us what you have eaten. Show us where you have eaten it from, and always share with others. Share the information with other people. We want this information to spread to as many people as we can reach. Okay. Yes.
I was on some event last Saturday, and I realized there is a way people are embracing vegetables and vegetables that are well prepared, and not the others. Last time we talked about raffages, and someone was like, I don't want to miss out my nutrients. I don't want to eat raffages because of the effect you talked about. But each time we get this feedback, it tells us that really people watch and follow some of these things, even when we do not see them, but at least they are learning. And to us, that is the reason we are here every Monday to Friday with the Family Hour. Today, we are looking at the art of fruits and vegetables from farm to plate. Of course, we should also tell people out there, we know it is holiday, and very many parents have not told their children that these fruits are not grown in supermarkets and markets. We shall
today in today's session we are going to talk about how to involve children to make sure that they eat their fruits and vegetables. So we shall address that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we start right away. I know our table is well decorated. So we want to start. What happens when because last time you told us the fruits, the different colors, and now I have my different colors, like I can see here. What happens? What do I do with them?
Okay, so last time we had talked about the different colors, and we said that the colored fruits are full of antioxidants. They are full of what we call the beta carotenes, and those are powerful antioxidants. We talked about the role of antioxidants in the prevention of chronic diseases. So, for example, a mango, this is rich in vitamin A. Beetroot is rich in vitamin A, and even the guavas, which are red. We are not talking about the cover. We are talking about the flesh.
When you cut it,
when you cut the fruit, what color is the fruit? So you should always look for colored fruits, but you have to also mix them with the other non-colored fruits, because we said also those non-colored fruits, for example, the oranges, inside it is not colored, but it is rich in vitamin C. And also vitamin C is a very powerful antioxidant, so you don't want to miss out the other vitamins and minerals in the other colors, though you should have a variety of different colors by at the end of the day, if you can. Yes.
Well,
if you can.
So how do I mix up these colors, and how do I know that now when I eat this and this and this today,
it's enough?
It's enough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So last time we had talked about servings. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes. So like for the fruits, 3 to 5. Even the vegetables. Some guides say 2 to 4. Others recommend 3 to 5, but most of them recommend 3 to 5 servings a day. So what is the serving? That's where you start from.
Exactly.
So we eat fruits in different ways. You can have a whole fruit. You can have a sliced fruits, a salad. You can have dried fruits. So each form in which you eat the fruits determines how you're going to measure the serving. For example, for here, what you have shown me here, each of these represents 1 serving of a fruit. So for example, this one, it is, if you want to eat a whole fruit, it is 1 medium-sized.
Like this.
This one is 1 serving. So if you had your breakfast and you ate your mango, it is 1 serving. Now you're done with your breakfast. You have eaten your 1 mango.
I take only 1 mango for
that
breakfast.
Is 1 serving.
1 mango for breakfast?
That is enough for breakfast. You don't have. You remember what we discussed?
I remember.
Wastage of food, because the body does not use those nutrients there and then. If you overload the body with nutrients in a very short time, the body will pick out what it needs, and the rest you excrete it. You understand? So we don't want to waste food. So you make sure that you distribute them throughout the day, if you can. That's the recommendation.
So meaning. If 1 mango like this is representing 1 serving.
1 serving, and 1 apple, because it's a medium-sized apple. So if you have, for example, these guavas, now these would be a serving. You understand? So when we go to this beetroot, this is 1 serving. This cucumber, 5 centimeters of a full-grown cucumber would be 1 serving. But you can have 2 servings at a particular sitting. If, for example, you don't want to eat, like some people don't eat supper. So you can have 2 servings of fruits at lunch. Then you have, 2 servings of fruits at breakfast. Maybe a mid-snack. You have 1 serving. Those are already 3. So you're remaining with 2. At lunch, you have juice. We can have fruits in the form of juice.
That's also serving?
That's 150 mils of fresh juice without water. 150 mils. Yes.
And it is rare to find around town here.
No, you
unless if you carry it from home, maybe.
Yeah, you can decide to carry it from home. It's always good to carry your food from home.
Okay.
Yeah, so 150 mils is like this normal, like half of the glasses we have in our homes. Yeah. So 150 mils of fruit juice without water, without sugar. That is 1 serving. So if you had your lunch and you took a glass of juice, that you have counted it as a serving. Then maybe in the evening you could have another fruit, and your 5 servings, you have had them in a day.
So before we even go, does it mean that if I'm taking fruits in the morning, I should take only one, or
no, it depends on the size of the fruit. So I've given you an example that this one-sized fruit, one medium-sized fruit is a serving. But now you can ask me, how about a watermelon? So a watermelon, like you have seen these people selling watermelons for 500.
Yeah, slicing them into smaller.
So that watermelon, that slice of
this is, it is
1,000. It's a serving. You count around the watermelon, a well-rounded watermelon, 5 centimeters of the watermelon is one serving. A big pineapple, this pineapple 500, it's a serving.
Now what I want
this purple which they sell, this gentleman with the girl.
So for example, I have this and I also want to take this.
Yes.
Is it acceptable? Or if I want to take both, I first take this one and then
no, you can also this. Now another way in which you can eat fruits is to have a salad. You don't have to have one fruit at a time, one particular fruit at a time. You can mix, but make sure that now once you have the fruits and once you have your fruits chopped up, we recommend that you take a handful.
A handful.
That is like a serving spoon. What do you call this in Uganda?
Olubatu.
Olubatu. Olubatu raw fresh cut the fruits and vegetables is a serving. Oh, and this is equivalent to serving spoon.
Sure.
Yes.
No, but I look at some of our fingers that are longer than others, because when I compare my chibatu and Brinko's chibatu, they are really not of the same size. So does that mean that depending on how long or short your fingers are, that is what you're supposed to take?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, so it is an estimate.
Okay.
It's if you don't have a measuring cup, because we say for fresh fruits, half a cup is one serving, but a half a cup is like 250 mils. I mean, quarter a cup is 250
mils.
225. Half a cup is 250 mils. So if you don't have the measuring cups, you can estimate using your chibatu. You can estimate using a tablespoon. You can estimate that would be like 2 tablespoonfuls of fruits. Yeah. You can use your serving spoon at home, but make sure you don't heap it. Just level it. That's one serving.
That is a good disclaimer,
and,
because
if you're eating dried fruits, for example, grapes, I think about like 7 grapes are enough. I mean, what do we call them? These dried fruits which are very common in dates.
Yeah, dates.
It's about 7. If you have strawberries, 7 are enough.
7 per serving? Or
yes, 7 fruits, 7 dates.
7 dates
are equivalent to serving.
Okay.
Yes. So a serving is not something that is too big. So when you tell people that you eat 3 to 5 servings, they think you want them to eat a basket of fruits. No. it's manageable.
You know how tasty dates are, and so sometimes you feel you can't eat only 7, and you want to take like maybe 25. Yeah, dates. But you gave us already the issue that now
there's someone who said that eating is an art, but eating, once you start calculating what you're eating, it becomes a science. Yeah.
I was meditating upon it. So eating is an art. Then when
Yes.
it gets into these details,
Once you start getting into details of what you should eat, how you should eat it, when and how much, it becomes a science.
why is it important for people to pay attention to what they should eat per serving?
Remember what we said, that your body does not need excess amount of food. That's how you end up with obese people who get chronic diseases. We are trying to stay healthy. We don't want to be thin. We don't want to undereat and we become thin and unhealthy and get diseases. But we also don't want to be so fat and we get chronic diseases like the cancers, diabetes, and hypertension.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, someone would really want to how we eat. Now the fruit, you've told us about the serving and all those details. So for instance,
then for the vegetables, you can measure them when they are still raw or when they are already cooked. So for
tell us the science.
for the raw vegetable, for the cooked vegetables, a quarter a cup is what we consider a serving. That is your average serving spoon, not heaped, or two, like 2 tablespoonfuls of cooked heaped vegetables. Then, if they are not cooked, you make sure that you double that. That becomes a serving. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, how your healthy plate should be is that if you don't want to go into the nitty-gritties of how many grams, you can just decide to look at a healthy plate. A healthy eating plate is where you find that half of your plate is taken up by fruits and vegetables.
I have this plate here.
Yes.
I want us to talk about these things when people really see what we are talking about. So I have my plate here, and you're talking about half of the plate, meaning all these should be fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
So quarter fruits and quarter vegetables.
Yes. Then a third, your proteins and the carbohydrates. Take the rest.
Do we people pay attention to these things? Especially, in your events, that is when you know that people don't pay attention to these things. Someone, I've taken long without eating white rice. Then they white rice,
They
brown
put
rice, mayonnaise, matoke, cassava, potatoes, pumpkins.
By the time you reach the fruits, by the time you reach to the fruits and vegetables, you have no space
Exactly.
that is left on the plate. So you should ideally calculate. Should calculate. You don't need a lot of carbohydrates, especially as adults. You don't need a lot of carbohydrate. You put I know we don't eat buffets at our homes. It's okay to eat a buffet once you're out of your home, but put a little matoke, a little rice, a little.
All that should be taking
Irish.
the other quarter of the plate,
The other
because the other half
has
is already gone.
The three, now we have added the quarter.
Yes, it is also gone.
Yes.
Now all that should fit in that quarter.
Yes. Because the carbohydrates give us a lot of energy, especially these refined carbohydrates, the postures,
Energy-giving foods. I remember that primary science.
Yes.
Then proteins, bodybuilding foods, and then vitamins.
They are protective foods. Yes.
Okay.
So you need a lot of protection. You don't need a lot of
energy.
Glucose. Yeah. So that's how the excess energy builds up, and you end up with these chronic diseases. That rise from obesity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask is, for example, I want to have an apple and this mango. So does it mean that I'll get half of the apple and half of the mango?
It does not really matter. You can just, if you want, let me say you have these 3 fruits. This is all you want to eat, because it's not a must that you would always get.
So I have
5.
this apple.
Yeah, you have a mango.
Yes.
And
these 2 guavas.
Yes. And because we recommend 3 to 5. So you want to try your best for that day. You want to have 3 to 5. So I gave you different options.
Yes.
You can eat it as a whole fruit. So you can decide to eat one maybe for breakfast, you eat another one for lunch, and these 2 for supper or for a snack. You might want to have a salad. So I can cut a quarter an apple in the morning. I cut a quarter a mango, or 1/3 of the mango, and I also have a slice of the guava. Then I keep the rest. I just have to make sure that I distribute it throughout the day. Yeah, so it does not really matter how you cut your vegetables.
Last time you talked about fruits that lose nutrients, like this apple here. Is it the same case with this mango?
Yes, the mango also has vitamins and minerals that are liable to oxygen and to light and to heat. So that's why we say you have to keep them fresh. Once you cut them, you can wrap them in foil. You can put them in a container. If you have a fridge, the better. If you don't have it, you can put them in a covered container and keep them in a cool, dry place.
The other thing I would still want to ask.
But you must always wash your vegetables.
Yeah, this one's actually washed. But we've seen on several occasions people advising us to peel them before we eat. For example, I'm going to eat this mango. They advise us to first peel it before you eat, and then you eat what is inside. What do you say about that?
No, remember our refugees?
Yes.
The refugees in this outer thing. The cover of the mango here. This is what has the fiber. And we talked about the different uses of fiber. We said it regulates how your food is going to move through your digestive system, thereby preventing overloading the body with a lot of glucose, and it's very helpful for people, especially with diabetes. We said it helps us to pass stool to prevent constipation and diarrhea. We said it is fermented to give us the good bacteria that keeps our gut healthy. So if you cut it off and you throw it away, you are throwing away all those benefits of fiber. So it is not recommended for you to peel the mango and you throw away the peels. The peels are supposed to be eaten with the mango.
Okay. We are going for a short commercial break, but now I have this question because I feel tempted to eat a piece of this. Now, what happens if I cut this, I eat it now, and then I eat the other after the show? Is it still carrying the same meaning, or I'm supposed to eat it at once?
We have just talked about it. We said once you cut fruits, cut them when you're going to eat them. Because once you expose them, by the time you finish the show, which is 1 hour, your vitamin C has gone.
Let's take a short commercial break and I eat this mango. I'm going to crush it. Drink or don't cross this line. We are coming back shortly.
Okay.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
when you are in the Lord, when you are sealed in the Lord, the devil looks at you and you are glittering. The devil locates a crown. For any person that the devil locates with a crown, the devil will never eat them because they belong to the Most High.
Friends, don't you give up in any form of hardship. Don't you give up, for Jesus encourages us and says, even at the point of losing your life, for the sake of Christ and the gospel, it is okay.
My dear brothers and sisters, let us remember that God is still reigning on his throne in heaven above. And let us trust in him. Let us rely on him. Let us pray each and every time. Let us not give up on showing ourselves out into the world that the Lord Jesus Christ is still king and he still reigns.
You and I are here to reign on the earth, not to complain, not to grumble, not to play victim, not to quarrel, but to reign on the earth.
I pray, Father, that you will release the fourth man to destroy every fire, to protect your people who are in every furnace and set them free in the name of Jesus.
Ramesses, you grew up together, close as brothers.
Remember their prophecy. Samson, chosen by the living God.
You dare to defy me? Let the furnace be heated sevenfold. Bind them and cast them into the fire.
Begins.
Take the ark!
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Family Hour, empowering families one episode at a time. Together, we build strong, healthy, and thriving families with our daily dose of inspiration and expert insights on topics that matter, like education and career growth.
A child may be a good entrepreneur, but you're forcing the child to make sure that she passes sciences in order for her to be a what? A nurse.
Family health.
No one should one day tell you that, hey, since you have diabetes, you should not take Caro. That's a lie. There's what we call portion control.
Finance and wealth.
Keep track of your spending. And part of the spending, of course, as we said, be able to separate wants from needs. That's secondary.
Leadership and governance.
There are people who take on the political aspect and try to water down important, significant decisions we leaders take for the good of this country.
Not forgetting parenting.
Now you're raising kids or children who are in a totally different time. You get it. Those days your mother would just give you an eye and you know this is a problem.
Hey, they are visitors.
And it's just there are visitors
and
around.
Mom gives you this eye, you know?
Yes.
Catch more of this every Monday to Friday at 9 p.m.
So I can now report that my fruit for this evening is I'm done. I've had a fruit and the whole world has seen I've had this fruit. Much as the temptation for having this other fruit is high, but I will wait for the next interval. Good enough. Brinko, please. Tukume mirembe tubeva kakamu. No man, I know you are also tempted, but tubeva kakamu. No man will take cucumber, Brinko will take beetroot. Well, we are back and we are talking about fruits. Now, before the break, we talked about fruits. We now want to talk about the creative way in which you can have your vegetables. Pamela, so we've had the fruits. I've even tested one. I was going to call Brinko to help me clean this place, but you know, a Brinko, you have to get used to these things.
That's this.
But I mean, I've taken my fruit in the way you told us. So what about the vegetables? Someone would be wondering what happened to the vegetables.
Yeah, actually, even the fruits, there are more ways also you can.
Hey.
Yeah, you can bake. You can include like the dried fruits if you bake in your home. You can also include them in your. There are those fruits they call cherries, what those things. Raisins. Yes, so you can put them in your baked items. You can also put fruits in yogurt. Yeah, you can. People who like eating junk food, people who like eating cakes with cream, you can also decide to put some grapes on top of your on top of your cake. If you don't like eating fruits, there you can look for creative ways, to eat your fruits. Then the vegetables. Some vegetables, for example, here the tomatoes, the cucumber, the carrots. You can decide to make a vegetable salad. If you don't like bland vegetables, you can heat it up, stir fry it. Yeah, just remember the other time when we said the colored vegetables,
yes.
You might need to add a little bit of oil and heat them up to get the phytochemicals out of the vegetables. So you heat up the vegetables, and you add a little bit of salt to make it tasty according to what you want. So if you don't want to have a monotonous thing, so if you ate them completely raw, in the evening you can decide to heat them up. And then you can also sprinkle, chop finely the vegetables, sprinkle them on foods, especially like for children. If they don't want, some children don't want to see certain vegetables in their foods.
You remind me how we didn't like to see. There is some vegetable especially called lentula, and then there's this other one which has white flowers. I'm forgetting its name. Ejovio, I think it's called Ejovio, which is bitter.
That's the recommended thing for people with hypertension. Children don't like those bitter vegetables. So we are going to see how you can involve them. Then you can make smoothies, like we said, fruits. You could make juice, even vegetables. You could make smoothies or soups. Have you ever heard of any soup? Have gone to these fancy restaurants and they serve you like mushroom soup that is sprinkled with cauliflower on top. Yeah, so you can make it at your home. You just have to blend the vegetables and cook the soup and make it thick. And that is interesting for the children also. It is something that we don't usually make in our homes. So
we only find it in the other places.
Yes, but it's very easy to make. Just bake your cauliflower, get your mushrooms, your onions and tomatoes, and then you blend them. And after you cook them, after cooking them, you blend them. How hard is that?
It's not hard.
It is very easy. You understand? And the children will really like it. They can have it with rice. So you can make those smoothies, like even the juices. You can have those different juice cocktail. If you don't like one particular fruit at a time, you can make cocktail juice, mixed fruit juice. And you don't need to add sugar. You can always use a pineapple or a mango to make your juice sweet. You understand? Then you can cook the vegetables the way we cook them at home. Just cook them. Get your vegetables, chop them, add some bit of salt and some seasonings to make it spicy. That is a broth. You can. Then we also, what we usually do in our homes, adding vegetables to our beans and nuts and meat. I know most homes in Uganda, when they are cooking meat, they add different types of vegetables. Yeah, so
they add biringanya, tula,
yes, the green peppers. Yeah, so you can add them, even beans. Most homes usually add tula or biringanya in the beans. Even nuts, people, they add different vegetables. And those are usually, or you can, we have talked about it, like some vegetables, most of the vegetables, like especially the green leafy vegetables, you might want to fry them, or like the dodos, you might want to steam them. Get of different ways so that you don't get bored. You don't eat vegetable salad throughout, you don't eat steamed dodo throughout the week. Get different ways of eating these vegetables and fruits so that it becomes fun, does not become like a prescription. Yes.
Okay. Talking about that, there is something important. As we are talking about the creative ways through which you can introduce these vegetables into a home. You talked about the children, and it's unfortunate that very many of our children, especially the ones in Kampala, don't know that they have gardens where some of all these things are grown. They know that they're bought, they're grown in a supermarket or they're grown in a market. They know I'll go to the market and get all these. So how can we involve the children? We know it is holiday and it is really very, very important, because most of the schools in Uganda do not really take up some of these as they have their menu at school. You take porridge for breakfast, you take posho and beans for lunch, and posho and beans for supper throughout. Sometimes they change and they eat rice on a weekend, but I mean it is the same routine from the beginning of the term to the end of the term. So while they are home, it is important that at least you give them something special at home, which is very important in building their immunity. And these are the fruits and vegetables that we are talking about. So how can we engage them so that they don't look at this as something you're imposing on them?
So first of all, many parents, if you have a home, if you're blessed with a home, there is no space, you can decide to have a fruit and vegetable garden and make sure that now the kids are in the holiday. Like abasombe itaka, obawe seeds, oba seedlings, they were planting, they own their thing. You know, when we were young, we used to grow our own small gardens.
Me, the first time I did this was when I was in secondary, where it was mandatory for everyone to have their small garden.
But how did you feel after harvesting?
And actually you had to put in a lot of efforts, because whatever you harvested was supposed to be yours. So if it were carrots, when you're harvesting the carrots, you take them. The school doesn't own them. So you had to, I think it was one of the ways of motivating you to work hard and harder and pay attention to your garden. But I mean, it was all fun and joyful.
Exactly. Now you can imagine if Mokalas involved your children in growing their vegetables, you think they would refuse to eat their vegetables?
No.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if you involve them, even if you don't have a garden, we can always teach our children where these things come from. These things they even teach them in school in literacy, like from P1. They tell them milk comes from a cow. It doesn't come from the supermarket. And also, when you're going to shop, we always encourage parents to shop with the children. Let them get involved. Let them learn to pick healthy foods. I think one time when I was here last year, I told you of a child that I had taken care of for a day. And when I asked her, my dear, should I buy you a soda? She said no, because the mother had always told her that drinking sodas, she knew the dangers of drinking soda. And she was like 3. She knew the dangers of drinking soda. She knew the dangers of, she knew the health benefits of taking water. She refused the soda and she took water. So once you go to shop, if you're going to the market, let the children go with you. Let them pick out their vegetables. Teach them, when you're shopping, buy different colors. These things. Then when you reach at home, teach them how to prepare the vegetables. Once you have prepared the vegetables with them, they would want to eat what they have prepared. You understand? Yeah. But also, the number one thing that you should consider is that you also are eating the fruits and the vegetables at home. You understand? If you're not eating them, they learn that they
do what I say, but don't do what I do.
No. And maybe instead of stocking our kitchens with junk food, you find the kitchen has biscuits, the kitchen has cookies, it has daddies. Yes, you can have some of those once in a while, but make sure that the kitchen is full of fruits and vegetables, more than the snacks, the unhealthy snacks, so that every time they would want to snack, the only available option is the fruits and the vegetables. You understand?
Yeah.
You're like, chibabele munti. This is what is available. This is ngatebabi manye na video bidada. Ngatebalabangako soda. All soda is for special occasions.
So like Easter, we go back to the other days of ours where soda was for the sick, the visitors, and on Christmas and Easter.
Yeah, so when they turn around, if they open the fridge, let them find the fruits and vegetables. When they go to the kitchen, yes, instead of having those the other snacks, instead of buying a child for a child, kugenda ku muntu wa wansi. I've seen parents buying these. What shops do? They get. I think it's Jolly Jazz. They add in water, then they put it in long caveras, and they seed it, and they put it in the freezer, and it becomes ice. Every
100 shilling they buy ice.
Yes, they buy this Jolly Jazz Chamla.
I think there are new brands. On market.
Yeah, there are new brands. Yeah, but why? Instead of buying those packaged.
And surprisingly, some parents use them as a way of making the children busy. Maybe a parent wants to go somewhere, so they'll, okay, you can't buy ice so that they can disappear from the child. By the time you come back from buying ice.
Yes, but instead of buying those funny drinks for the children and the funny eats, you buy for them the fruits, the fresh fruits. Yeah, that cup of 500, you can buy 2 yellow bananas.
Yeah.
Actually,
2 yellow bananas are 500.
And those are 2 servings.
You eat 1 per serving?
Because we said 1 medium-sized.
Okay. For me, I thought with yellow bananas. What about these small ones, the these?
Kat, how many do you think? Now I want you to reason and think. How many would you think would make a medium-sized?
I think around 3.
Depending on the size.
Yeah.
3 or 2 would make a serving. Yeah. So these servings, these are just examples. But if you have like a big mango, how would you calculate a serving from that mango? So you estimate, does this portion equal to one sized, medium-sized mango guno gwa bulijjo umuganda? You understand? If you have the what is it? The orange. 1 orange is a serving. But if you look at lemons, because lemons are more concentrated, if it's a big lemon, then half the lemon is a serving. You understand?
Yeah.
So you just calculate the serving in your head, depending on the size of the fruit that you have. You get the point?
Yes, I get it.
Yeah. So the children, the first thing is make sure that you are eating the way they are supposed to eat. 2, involve them, if possible, from production to preparation. You understand? 3, always educate them why they should eat. Mama Jakuza, but why should I be eating this cucumber? You know, children like sweet things.
They'll tell you this is mommy's thing. I'm eating it because of mommy.
The brown bread. The children don't like the brown bread.
Yeah.
You know, you buy the bread and you eat it alone. You know, you buy your own brown bread and you buy the children's white bread because they will not eat unless you tell them why. Yeah, like children refuse certain porridges, but for you know this porridge is good for the child. So you have to tell them, if they're like 3 and above, you tell them why I'm asking you to eat this, for example, the brown porridge, not the white porridge, because the brown porridge is more nutritious. Then you convince them it is going to make you look nice, it's going to make you grow. Yeah? And when you're eating, when they're giving them fruits, you can even make it a challenge. Like now, may I ask you, so this colored fruit, it is good for our eyes. We know. Next time I challenge you, I tell them why they should eat the fruits and the vegetables. How are they going to benefit? So they know why they are eating the fruits and the vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah. Then also, like we said, for the adults, if children like eating like yogurt, you can cut like slices of pineapple, even these mangoes and the apples. You put them in the yogurt. If they like cakes on top of it, instead of putting sugar, you can put the fruits. Yeah, so incorporate them in different ways. Mix the food with the fruits, and mix the food with the vegetables. If they don't like seeing certain vegetables, get away of hiding it in the food, and make sure that they eat it in a hidden manner. Yeah.
Well, we are running out of time, but what would be your parting shots, closing remarks pertaining this particular subject of fruits and vegetables?
One, we have talked about the servings. We said 1 medium-sized fruit is a serving. Echibatu, which are fresh fruits, is a serving. Dried fruits, you need like 2 tablespoonfuls of dried fruits, 150 ml of fresh juice without sugar and without water is a serving. You understand?
Yeah.
We said 1 serving spoon of vegetables is a serving if they are cooked, and if they are raw, you count 2. And we said that we need at least 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. We looked at different ways in which you can eat the fruits. We looked at you can eat a whole fruit, you can eat it as a salad, you can incorporate it into other foods. Then we said that you should also distribute these fruits and vegetables throughout the day. It is not advisable to eat the 5 servings at one sitting, because the body will not use them anyway. It will pick what it wants and the rest will be excreted. And we have talked of the different ways in which you can eat the fruits and the vegetables so that it does not become boring, and how you involve kids. The different ways in which you involve kids is do as they do. Make sure that you involve them, and make sure that you replace the unhealthy snacks in your home with these fruits and vegetables, so that when they turn around to look for the unhealthy snacks, they are not there. What is available are the healthy snacks. Basically, that is what we talked about today.
Thank you so much, Pamella, and thank you so much, you, our viewer, who started with us, and most importantly, you who is learning, and you who is planning to have a fruit before you sleep, but also making it your daily routine to at least have, we used to have to say in English that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So yeah, keep the doctor away by making it part of you, by taking fruits. Edwin Austin Mukalazi is my name. I've worked with Brinko and Norman Nkonte, the Prince of Bulamoji, and of course very many other people out there. Now it's time for Soul Moment, but a lot more is yet to come, and tomorrow wake up with us on Good Morning Family. Good night.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
When you are in the Lord, when you are sealed in the Lord, the devil looks at you and you are glittering. The devil locates a crown. For any person that the devil locates with a crown, the devil will never eat them, because they belong to the Most High.
Friends, don't you give up in any form of hardship. Don't you give up, for Jesus encourages us and says, even at the point of losing your life, for the sake of Christ and the gospel, it is okay.
My dear brothers and sisters, let us remember that God is still reigning on his throne in heaven above, and let us trust in him. Let us rely on him. Let us pray each and every time. Let us not give up on showing ourselves out into the world that the Lord Jesus Christ is still king and he still reigns.
You and I are here to reign on the earth, not to complain, not to grumble, not to play victim, not to quarrel, but to reign on the earth.
I pray, Father, that you will release the fourth man to destroy every fire, to protect your people who are in every furnace and set them free in the name of Jesus.